Hey there, Pam Coburn-Litvak here. I'd like to tell you a story to start this new series. You can find it in the classic book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. A battleship was assigned to training maneuvers at sea for several days in heavy weather. Due to the poor visibility, the captain stayed on the bridge to keep watch. As night fell, a lookout on the bridge called out, "Light bearing on the starboard bow." The captain said, "Signal that ship, we are on a collision course. Advise you to change course 20 degrees. A signal came back, "Advisable for you to change course 20 degrees. The captain said, "Send, I'm a captain, change course 20 degrees. I'm a seaman second class, but you had better change course 20 degrees. Now the captain was furious. He spat out, "I'm a battleship, change course 20 degrees. Then came the reply that made all the difference. "I'm a lighthouse." There are 2 reasons why I share that story with you. I'll share the second at the end, but here's the first. Cognitive behavioral therapy is the gold standard for the 2 most common mood disorders in the world, anxiety and depression. These affect a lot of people. About 1 in every 5 adults suffer from one or both every year. Think of CBT as a lighthouse, warning us of danger points in our emotional landscape and guiding us to safety. Chances are very high that you or someone close to you can benefit from CBT. CBT changes the way the brain works, including the parts that regulate our mood and help us make decisions. So in a very real way, CBT can transform the way we think and feel. To help us understand the basic principles behind CBT, let's think of another real-life example. Ted's a college student who took a test this morning. He studied really hard and he was hoping to get a perfect score, but he didn't, which is why he's so glum. We'll call his test results the activating event, and we'll call Ted's disappointment the emotional consequence. We can all relate, right? We often think this is how we get into a bad mood. We work really hard at something, and then we feel let down if we don't do as well as we wanted to. But think about that for a minute. The reason why we get upset is not the event itself, but an unfulfilled expectation or hope that we had for it. Ted wanted to do perfectly, but he didn't. In other words, the activating event does not lead directly to the consequence. There's something in between. This is the first principle of CBT. Everything that happens to us is mentally filtered through our beliefs. Maybe Ted's thinking, "I should always do well on tests. I'm a failure if I don't get an A. This is a tragedy." It's easy to see how any or all of these thoughts would drag Ted down. They're like rocks on a rough sea, shipwrecking us in dark and bleak waters. Which leads to the second principle. Anxious and depressed people spend a lot of time in these waters. Most of their beliefs skew to the negative, and their feelings follow. But don't miss the third principle, which is key to the whole thing. In depression and anxiety, the problem is not with the feelings themselves. Rather, the problem is almost always the underlying belief that causes the feeling. These beliefs are almost always distorted to give us a twisted view of the world. We can all relate to Ted's disappointment over a poor grade. Chances are we've all been there ourselves. But let's compare 2 different sets of thoughts he could have. "I gotta be on that test. Maybe I should learn some new study habits and join a study group. I can find ways to improve on the next one." The resulting emotions would include disappointment, sure, but also determination to learn from past mistakes and to do better in the future. Compare that to, "I gotta be on that test. That means I'm a complete failure and I'll never graduate and I'll never get a job and I'll never be able to support my family and they'll eventually leave me and I'll be alone forever." These beliefs can easily turn a minor disappointment into a major emotional crisis. Here's the key point. Distorted beliefs are bound to cause distorted feelings. This is how we skew our world to the negative, making us see danger and disappointment that's not really there. So the goal of CBT is to pinpoint and eliminate these distortions in order to eliminate the distorted feelings. D stands for disputing the distortion. E stands for the new emotional response that will follow the new belief. Now, for the other reason I told you that story at the beginning. We often think we're perfectly justified in our emotional responses to things, just like the captain of the battleship. But as soon as our perceptions or beliefs change, our emotional response can change as well. CBT can guide that process, shining a light on dangerous beliefs and leading us into safer emotional waters. So the next step is to describe the main types of distorted beliefs found in anxiety and depression. That's what we'll do in the rest of this series, and I really hope you'll join me. Please like and share this content, and take a few seconds right now to subscribe. Thanks so much.